Hey everybody, it's EARTH1111. I'm Roxane. Today I'm going to dive deep beyond the rabbit hole and into the wormhole. We're going to talk about the truth about aliens and all the other good stuff, right? UFOs, alien abduction. What are aliens really? Talk about everything today on Earth 1111. Hey everybody, it's Roxane, Earth1111. As always, please make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, don't forget to share the video. This is going to be a good one. And comment and like, it really helps my videos get seen to more people. Let's shine the light right now. Okay, let's get on with it. What are aliens? The truth is, aliens are you from the future. Don't have to believe me, you're going to be experiencing this for yourself. But time doesn't really exist, does it? As I've talked about many times, where we are in the universal time matrix. So this is really when we leave the 0 point of source and we get stepped down into smaller and smaller fractals of self that creates a spiral of time. With Ascension, what's going on right now, which is my entire premise of my entire channel, make sure you subscribe because you're going to want to know all this stuff here very soon, is now we are reversing time. We're going back to pure source. We're merging back with God, source, creator. We're becoming creator in a physical body. Our DNA is being recoded. The entire world is changing, which is why we see everything happening right now. It's not just because of what you're told. It's because the entire world is becoming multidimensional, which means, again, observing and experiencing as your actual reality every one of these dimensions of the spiral, all at once, here, in this now, in your body. Don't have to believe me, you're going to be experiencing all this. So let's get on with aliens. So if time doesn't exist and aliens are from the future, what does all this mean? Well, when we get closer and closer to source, so we step up in dimensions, we are actually going forward in time. So it's really weird to think about. Our life right here, we actually came back to the past to re-experience this earth reality, this earth timeline, to change it, to ascend, and to literally get the entire universal time spiral onto a better path. Because Earth, of course, as I talked about in many videos, has gone out of balance into the masculine dark aspects. Which again, masculine, feminine, both sides of duality, we need to be in balance. We need to be in complete balance between our masculine and feminine. And of course, as we see in the entire world, it has become completely off balance, which it really is an obsession in the mind, an obsession with the material world, with money, with power, with greed. So these are all out of balance, masculine attributes. So again, all of us hold feminine, masculine energies. But that's, again, for other videos. Let's get back to aliens, the topic at hand, right? So of course, everyone wants to know about this stuff right now because the Pentagon is declassifying all this stuff. We have to remember though, there's going to be an agenda with the way that they are going to relay the story, the truth about aliens and UFOs and all this stuff. Because we have to remember the reason why out of the blue right now, it seems like all of a sudden aliens is that hot topic. It's not just because the Pentagon announced that, it's because we have literally increased to a higher consciousness level, a higher dimension, right? Another aspect of us, another multidimensional aspect as our reality. So we are now fourth dimensional or fifth, not just three-dimensional right now. Again, this is already happening to you, which is why you're watching this video. So the fact that people have now this consciousness of the fourth dimension means that that includes a knowledge or a knowingness or a remembrance about aliens and an interest really in external, out there, other dimensions and other realities and outer space, and all this interest is now coming in the mainstream. And again, it's not because of just an announcement of files being declassified. It's because we have increased our dimensional ability to now perceive things beyond our little 3D Earth human reality. So it's already coming to the forefront because the majority of people, of course, in the world, well, everyone, has now activated their fourth dimension. Their fourth dimensional reality gives them now extreme duality, good and bad. But again, I'll talk about that in other videos. But with that is also an interest and an opening up to knowledge about aliens and UFOs and the spiritual world and all the weird stuff. So it's already coming out in the world, which is why the people at the top, right, have to control the story. The storyline has to be controlled that this is the big bad aliens and everyone should be freaked right out. And they can overpower our military, right? So again, I have no idea what's going to happen with this whole declassification of files, but I can guarantee, unless there's a lot of light workers literally being involved in this task, my guess is they're going to be controlling the agenda to be a scary one, a negative one, because it's already in the forefront of people's consciousness now. Let's now make people freaked out about it. Let's bring in more fear, of course, right? This is what they've been doing for eons. Fear-mongering about everything to keep you in your smallest reality. So again, I'll talk about that in my other video, Your Hidden Reality Exposed. I'll talk about the 12 dimensions and kundalini, the pineal gland, and all this type of stuff. So make sure you check out the other video when you're done this one. So aliens are you from the future, which means when we step down from the Godhead, let's talk about that as the whole entire everything. God, source, creator, all that is. When we step down and we separate, right, over and over, this is almost like cell division. We are dividing from the 1 into now 2, and then 4, and then 8, and on and on and on. So this is now, when we divide ourselves and separate ourselves from our own source, our own light, over and over and over, then we get to be human, which is now we are separated so far from our own knowingness, from our own source. We live a life separate from the light, separate from our own soul, right? And again, I'll talk about this in other videos. Make sure you subscribe so you know more here coming up. But every one of these now separations, essentially dumbing us down into lower and more denser fractals of consciousness, further from that purity of that true source. Every one of these levels we can call an alien realm, an extraterrestrial realms, right? These are all dimensions. So all these different dimensions are all an aspect of you. It's a fractal of you that's been separated. We can merge now with these part of ourselves. This is the whole point of ascension. We ascend to now activate a new realm of consciousness, a higher dimensional reality. And then we bring that light into the physical body, recode our physical body and our DNA to now become beyond the double helix and into 6-strand DNA, 8-strand, 10, 12, and probably beyond that. So when we get to recode our DNA, our entire experience of reality is different. We can call each of these fractals of ourself a part of yourself. And again, because they are closer to source, they are really, from our perspective in the time matrix, they are our future selves. Now, it's not that really one dude comes back from the future, that lives on the Pleiades, for example. And he comes back to greet you, and because that's your future self. You're this guy or girl living on the Pleiades. But it's not really like that. Instead, you become the entire collective consciousness of that realm. So your future self is not just one being that exists on the Pleiades. Your future self is the entire Pleiadian star system with the multiple 7 stars. The entire consciousness of everything that exists there is embodied by you. You are now all of it. So that's how weird this gets, and that's how weird Ascension gets, and how expansive everything becomes. Because it really becomes beyond belief. Ancient aliens, that's nothing. That's just the beginning. Now when we ascend, we become all dimensions at once. We remove ourselves from time, because we get in the 0 point and we become this whole entire universal time spiral. So now there's no more time, because we become and embodied the entire spiral. So again, I'll talk about that in other videos, and I will talk about that in the future in detail. So when we talk about now aliens, all of these aspects of yourself is a different fractal of a different alien. So again, I'll have a video in the future about your extraterrestrial starseed origins. Make sure you subscribe, because I'll talk about that in detail. There are infinite galaxies and infinite universes. It goes well beyond what you can even possibly imagine. And all of it is you. That's the biggest thing to remember. Again, don't have to believe a word I say, because you're going to be experiencing all this for yourself. Now, are the aliens coming down to save us? The world seems to be going to hell. Are they coming here, right? This is something we've been hearing about in the spiritual community forever. Guess what? You are the alien. You are here to save the planet. So if you're watching this video, it's because you have been activated, you've been awakened. You are now starting your ascension process, and you are going to be one of those that really changes this entire planet and allows the entire world to experience a higher dimension, multidimensionality, into new earth and beyond. You are here to save the world, and you are the alien. So if anyone ever tells you that the aliens are coming down to save us, guess what? They are. They're already here, walking amongst us. And you're one of them. When you activate these alien aspects of yourself and you embody them, you actually become an alien with all of that knowledge, power, and energy right here in this world, in this life. Your life is a virtual reality hologram, a game that we play. You want more pieces of the puzzle? Activate and embody more pieces of yourself. And then it gets awesome. It gets weird, magical, well beyond what you can ever imagine. So things like you will start seeing ships in the sky, right? And again, that's because we are now in a higher dimension. We have activated higher dimensionality, which means we have a different sky above us. That's how weird it gets. We see beyond the typical human sky. We're now able to see past the magnetosphere and the ionosphere, and we can see beyond that, which is why so many people right now are seeing UFOs and alien ships. It's because they are having and experiencing a higher, more expansive sky above them. They're able to see more of this weird stuff in the sky. Now, what are these ships? Typically, they're actually going to be light, pure light. So again, there could be some fourth dimensional, lower realm, bad aliens, the dark aliens that have physical ships, probably not with the same types of metals and stuff that Earth has, but possibly with some physicality to them. But most of the time when you're seeing a ship, you are seeing pure light. It is actually the being that you're seeing, not some alien-made craft. That's how weird it gets. So again, when you see these things shape-shifting, right, in the military videos and things like that, that's because you are seeing a shape-shifting, energetic, pure light being, which is the craft. And you're typically seeing it from a 0 point an ability to see, again, beyond the third dimensions, which is why it is shape-shifting. You're probably seeing a fifth dimensional 0 point or beyond ship. So that's how weird it gets. Now, what happens when you hear about things like alien abduction, right? Of course, for me, when I was younger, aliens were the thing that scared me the most. I could not stand those alien movies and those shows, and hearing about alien abduction, things like that, just, I was so freaked out when I was younger as a kid and stuff. And again, probably because I had so many blockages and so much fear programming, right? We've been programmed as a society to be freaked out through movies, through all this agenda, to keep us so scared of something that is the unknown, something that is out there that we have no idea what it is, right? That could show up in the middle of the night and abduct you and bring you onto their ship and do all these experiments on you on some, medical bed, right? We hear about the most scariest things ever. Well, guess what? I had one of those exact experiences 4 years ago. So again, I probably had it happen many times when I was a kid, which is why I was freaked out, on top of having all that programming, right? So I was never someone that loved aliens or, Star Wars or anything like that. I actually hated that stuff. But for me, again, I'm going to have a whole nother video about my alien abduction, because it's going to be long, but I realized in that moment, because it really expanded me to my next level of ascension and embodiment. And I even had that scary scene where I was flopped onto an operating table and I had beings all over me staring down. I even had one of them with a squiggly screwdriver tongue come right here and literally put his spiral tongue into my third eye. So again, I'm going to have a whole video about all that. But what I know for a fact after that experience, which again, I allowed myself to be out of the fear. It was scary at the moment, but I knew what it was happening. And what was happening is these beings abduct you to actually remove blockages and remove layers of stuff that is preventing you from being your whole self, that's preventing you from ascending and from embodying all aspects of you. So they are actually, remember, you, and they're here to help you. So again, it is scary as heck when it happens. But if you allow yourself to just be, and again, I'll have a whole video about my alien abduction video separate here coming up in July. But just know that all that talk about alien abduction, right? Again, all that propaganda, that fear-mongering we hear about, those aspects are here to take off these layers of gunk, toxins, blockages, traumas that are in your physical body, that are in your pineal gland, preventing you from communicating with your higher selves, with cosmic beings, galactic beings, angels, all these types of things. So, aliens are you from the future. Remember, because there is no future, there is no past. It's all happening right here simultaneously. You are the future. You're living your future alien self right now at this moment. And you can merge with that part of you and literally live out that life in this moment, in this physical body. Multi-dimensions, all these alien aspects are you. So again, doesn't matter what the agenda we're going to hear about, it's all happening as part of the plan to ascend this planet and humanity and you. If you like the video, please share it with everyone you can. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell. I'm Roxanne. This is EARTH1111. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.